How we doing?
Doing awesome.
Really? After everything you went through, you're doing awesome right now?
I mean, my body hurts, but like I'm just over the moon. I'm like, I'm actually still like in shock that this is happening.
Why is that? Because you weren't expecting to finish on a podium or finish second?
No, I mean, I think there was like a piece of me that thought like I might have it in me, but the amount of things that would have to go right for that to happen, I didn't think it was realistic. So, and I ran most of the race, like in like the 4th, 5th position. So I kind of thought that's just how it was going to end up. Yeah. And then things changed in the second half of the race, and I took advantage of that. And I think that the fact that I kind of laid low in the first half and was running a little bit more conservatively really played to my advantage in the second half when I like had a little bit more in me to like push at the end.
Yeah. So what point did that change where you said you were 4th, 5th, and then all of a sudden you found yourself in second?
Yeah.
And what was it, an obstacle? Was it what obstacle was that?
Yeah, so as we were coming actually over that dune, I could hear on the speaker them saying like someone missed their spear, or maybe even like a couple people had missed their spear.
Yes.
And so I knew that was like my chance, where if I was gonna, pass someone or like even just close the gap, like this was the time to do it.
At the spear, the infamous spear.
So I actually took my time at the spear,
okay,
because I knew those burpees would like take it out of me. So nailed the spear, and then was from that point on, I was like fighting with 2 other girls for like the second position. Like we were all kind of leapfrogging the rest of the race, between 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. So that was actually super exciting to like be in like a tight race that close to the end. Because for the women's side, it's not always like that.
Yeah.
So I always get excited when I'm like actually feeling like we're racing versus like racing on our own. So yeah. Yeah.
So that pack running, you mean?
Yeah, and also just like having the lead changes.
Yeah.
Versus like we weren't all like running together, but like someone would take the lead, and then like I would slowly like close that gap, and then I would take the lead, and then someone would pass me. You didn't really know what was gonna happen. So it was pretty exciting and like a little bit stressful. But I'd so much rather race a race like that than have like be in no man's land the whole time.
Sure, not knowing where you're at, all by yourself. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's funny you brought up the spear because, obviously the top 3 came down and they all missed their spear. Yeah. So they were doing their burpees. I actually remember when you come down, you nailed it. And the look on your face was like, all right.
It wasn't the prettiest throw, but whatever, it doesn't matter. I was like, all right, I'm going.
Now, as a CrossFit community, we hate burpees, so it's great to hear that, OCR racers do the same thing. They hate burpees as well. Yeah. Especially because obviously burpees take a lot out of you.
They're so sucking. Like when you're halfway through a race and you got to do burpees, especially in the sand, like that is not fun. So it's like mentally defeating, it's physically exhausting, and then going from doing those burpees and then having to go right back up like the steepest part of the course was like, I don't know, I did not envy those girls. I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna like take some nutrition and just like power up this thing because I've got more energy than they do.
Apparently. Now you talk about the sand. You're from Detroit originally, but you live in Northern California now. How did you train for this?
Yeah, so I live on the beach actually.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I mean, it's so different. Like,
do they have 60 feet or 60 these dunes like this, the biggest dune in the world?
I have one sand dune in my where I live, and it's 100 feet. It's pretty steep, like you are on your hands and knees climbing up it, but it's not like it is nothing like this. And when you're running on the beach, it's like it's so different than running out in the desert where like it's it is like deep, soft sand where you just like sink in, and it's really, really, really exhausting. It's like nothing I've done.
Especially, you said you live in Northern California, so you have that nice ocean breeze coming in here. Here, you don't have any breeze, and you're running at 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon here. Talk about the heat.
Oh my God. The heat in the first hour and a half was unreal. Like, and that's when, I kind of took out the race hotter than I had anticipated. I think I got a little excited, but then I quickly realized, like, okay, this is not sustainable, because I could feel that heat just like settling in, and I knew that the pace I was running, I couldn't maintain that for like 2+ hours. So that's when I kind of like reeled myself in. I let the other girls go ahead, and I was just telling myself, like, okay, try not to panic. Like, this is a really long race. Anything can happen. And I think, I'm like pretty proud of myself for doing that, because I think in races in the past, like when that happens, I kind of like mentally check out a little bit. I see the pack like going ahead, and I'm like, oh, I'll just like settle in here. And so it was nice to like just run my own race and then take it back slowly. Yeah.
Well, you're kind of unique in this sport, from what I know, and you have a lot of professionals, and you've only been doing this for 2 years, you said, as a professional, and you have no prior like college running experience. You weren't on a track team in college. You weren't a marathon runner. You're just a regular person who enjoyed running. And and here you are, sitting on the podium in the biggest OCR race in the world, half a country, half a world away. That's surreal, isn't it?
It's so surreal. I'm like, I still can't believe this is happening. Like, the fact that we're here, and the fact that this race was even like, a couple of weeks ago, none of us even knew if this was really going to all come together. Yeah. So the fact that like the race actually happened, we all made it here. Oh, a lot of us made it here, and I'm racing on like 3 nights of no sleep, and somehow like my body still pulled it together, and like I was able to just like execute in probably the best way that I have all year. It was pretty epic.
So what you're saying is your next race, you're just not going to sleep for 3 days, go in, and just crush it.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, good luck with that. Good luck. Let's see how that works out. In the CrossFit space, we can kind of relate to that. Going out too hot, like you said, going out too hot, and what it's the same. Now, obviously, we're not doing it for 2 hours at a time or longer than that, and not in these conditions. And I think that's what makes the Spartan World Championship so unique, is because you're dealing with the elements more than anything else. And it becomes more of a mental challenge, and it becomes more of an individual sport where you're not depending so much on the person, someone you're racing. You're more depending on your own body and how you prove that today, and probably one of the worst environments possible.
Yeah, to be honest, all day today I was like really wondering if I would even finish the race, because we were just like sitting around at the venue, like trying to find like any pocket of shade that we could, sucking down waters, and like just even sitting out here, it was like just draining your energy. And getting to the start, I was like sleepy and like I wouldn't feel like I was in like race mode. It was very strange. But just like kind of like comes together. Like you get a few minutes into the race, and you're like, all right, we're doing this. Everyone's kind of in the same boat, so you're like suffering together, which is fun. But yeah, the elements in this race particularly, I think, were one of the most challenging that I've done, at least in Spartan. For sure.
And it's been relatively a short Spartan career, so who knows what they throw at you next year.
Yeah.
You talk about, so what where do you go from here? I mean, is there an off season? I mean, you're just going to kind of relax until everything starts picking up again? I mean, are there any other races you have an eye on, or anything else you want to dip your toe in? I mean, obviously OCR is all-encompassing. There's Tough Mudder. There's a bunch of other races out there. Or you're just going to chill. You're happy, take your check, go home, relax a little bit, you know, enjoy that Northern California weather. And
so, I mean, I guess to start, I'm going to spend 2 weeks just like exploring the country and do a little road trip and definitely take some time off. It's been a very long season.
Sure.
And for me, like coming from not really having any sort of like elite or professional athletic background, this was kind of like my first, I don't know, I was kind of just like thrown into like the extreme side of it, and it's been a lot. Like I've had like a slew of like minor injuries coming up in the last half of the year, and I think my body's ready for a break. I'm mentally ready for a break, and definitely like gonna just continue the momentum into next year. I haven't like worked out my race calendar or anything, but it's definitely gonna be probably lots of like Spartan, like the big national series races. I would love to do some of the other like OCR brand races. I meant to do those this year, but it just like there wasn't enough time.
Crazy year.
And then I also love trail running and specifically mountain running. So trying to get more into that as well. So hopefully I can get like a few epic trail races on the calendar.
If you got an invite to the Spartan Games, would that be something you're interested in as well?
Oh man.
Because that's a different beast. Spartan Games, it's a different animal. You know, it's a Spartan.
It would be really challenging for me. I mean, I'm always up for like random challenges like that, for sure. So I don't think I could turn it down if I was offered that. But I don't know. Some of those like DECA strong things that would kick my butt. Like I don't even know if I could do half of the strength movements, but it'd be cool for sure. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining us. Congratulations.
Thank you so
Great job.
much.
We can't wait to see what you have planned for the next coming year. Hopefully we'll see you on the top of that podium.
Yeah, thank you.
No problem.
Nice to meet you.